Hi class, today we're looking at Chapter 5, Lesson 1, Ratios. What we will learn is how to write ratios as fractions in simplest form and how to simplify ratios involving measurement. So for our vocabulary, a ratio is a comparison of two quantities by division. So for example, if I were to compare 15 oranges to 12 apples. That is considered a ratio. And I would always want to make sure that I simplify that ratio. So then I would divide that by 3 top and bottom, and then it would be 5 oranges to 4 apples. And that would be my simplest form. But it's still a comparison because I'm comparing two different quantities. Now, ratios can be expressed as part to part to whole, or whole to part relationships. So in this case, we know that it would be considered whole to part because we have a larger value in the numerator. We do not convert it to a mixed number. It must remain as 5/4 because, again, it's a comparison of two quantities, not 3. Now, ratios can be written in 3 ways. One way could be if I wrote it as a fraction. So if I write 1/2, then I could also write it as 1 to 2, and that would be considered a ratio, or I can actually say 1 to 2. And those are the 3 ways of writing a ratio. It is okay for ratios to be left as improper fractions because, again, it's a comparison of two quantities. So now express each ratio as a fraction in simplest form. So for example 1, I have 15 puppies to 5 people. So 15 puppies over 5 people. And in this case, I can reduce my numerator and denominator by dividing it by 5, top and bottom. So 15 divided by 5, I get 3 puppies. And 5 divided by 5 would be 1 person. So what we're saying is for every 1 person, they would receive 3 puppies, and that is the ratio. In example 2, I have 24 pairs of socks to 8 pairs of shoes. So now I've got 24 over 8, and again, because they're just two quantities, I'm just going to reduce that by 8 top and bottom, and it ends up with 3 pairs of socks over 8 pairs of shoes. Oh no, over 1 pair of shoes. And then that would be my final result, 3 pairs of socks to 1 pair of shoes. Go ahead and turn your notes over to the back side now. Now go ahead and practice by expressing each ratio as a fraction in simplest form by answering questions 1 through 8. Now in this section, we're going to simplify the ratios involving measurements. Now, when writing a ratio involving measurements, both quantities must be in the same unit of measure. So now we want to express each ratio as a fraction in simplest form. In this case, it says for every 2 cups, there are 4 pints. But they do need to be in the same unit of measure. So we're going to have to determine how many cups are in a pint. And in this case, it says for every 1 pint, it'd be 2 cups. So what we're going to do, that we would have to multiply the 4 by 2, and that makes it a total of 8 cups. So now I'm going to take the 2 cups from the original problem, and I'll put it over 8 cups. and I can reduce that now because they are both the same unit of measure as 1 cup to 4. And that would be my final answer. Now for example 2, there are 12 seconds to 1 minute. So 12 seconds, 1 minute. But again, I'm not allowed to directly compare them. I need to convert the minute into seconds. So for every 1 minute, it is 60 seconds. So now I just write it as 12 seconds over 60 seconds. And I can reduce my answer by dividing by 12. So for 1 second, it would be 5 seconds. And that would be my final answer. Now go ahead and practice these 4 problems on your own. Don't forget that you do need to pay attention to the units of measure and you need to know each one of their conversions.